Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Hotman Duha, and in this occasion, I will present some topics of statistics for language research and assessment. Under the title is Understanding Educational Research Statistics, Concepts Made Simple with Islamic Values. Okay, without any further ado, we start with the first topic. Look at this picture. It's a driving test with Sudoku. Would you consider that a fair assessment? Probably not, right? That's a test with poor validity. Our first topic is validity. What is validity? Validity refers to the degree to which an instrument or test measures what it is intended to measure. In other words, a valid test accurately reflects the specific concept it aims to assess, no more, no less. Validity has three types. The first type is content validity. The second is construct validity, and the third is criterion validity. Content validity refers to how well a test or instrument represents all aspects of the construct it's supposed to measure. How about with construct validity? Construct validity is the extent to which a test actually measures the theoretical construct it claims to measure. And what about the criterion validity? Criterion validity evaluates how well a test correlates with an external criterion. It's usually another established measure or outcome. Here are real-life examples of an invalid test. The first example is a school administers an English reading comprehension test, but the test is filled with complex scientific vocabulary and charts from biology textbooks. This is invalid test, right? How about the second example? Testing someone's swimming ability by asking them to describe a chemical formula of water. They just want to float, not pass a chemistry quiz. It's invalid test too. The last example is a school claims to assess students' English speaking skills, but instead of actual speaking tasks, the test consists of multiple choice questions about grammar and pronunciation rules. This validity context has the same value in Islam context. It's about fairness in judgment is paramount. Validity represented by Quran Surat Al-Hujurat ayat 13. It reminds us that we were created as the first people and nations so we can know one another, not misjudge or mismeasure each other. Validity is a matter of amanah, trust in designing fair assessment. The second topic is reliability. Quick question for this topic. If you weigh yourself 3 times in a row and each time the scale shows a different number, would you trust that scale? Probably not. That's what we call low reliability. Reliability is about consistency in measurement. In this topic, there are two common types. The first type is Cronbach's alpha. Cronbach's alpha is a statistical measure of internal consistency. It means that how well do the items on a test or questionnaire stick together and measure the same thing. Okay, here is the example of Chromebus Alpha by students' attitudes toward online learning in English classes. You can use to measure that construct. It's rated on a 5-point scale. 1 point for strongly disagree, 2 point for disagree, 3 point for neutral, 4 point for agree, and 5 point for strongly agree. The second type, I'm sorry, and here the real life scenario or example. Imagine that two teachers grading the same essay. It's called first teacher or teacher A is a strict teacher and for the teacher B is a chill teacher. They grading the same set of students' essays. Teacher A got a red pen and zero mercy for grammar sins. Even a missing Oxford comma is a federal offense. And teacher B, all about creativity, gives brownie points for effort and finds errors part of the learning journey. In Islam, reliability is consistency is it's part of istiqomah being steadfast and just. Quran Surah An-Nisa ayat 58 reminds us to judge fairly when entrusted. So, as the educators, we are not only testing students but also testing our own sense of justice. Let's be reliable, let's be fair. The third topic is normal distribution. Look at this picture. You just got your test back. Your score is 75. So, did half your class. A few got 90 plus, a few bumped it. That is not random, that is normal distribution. In statistics, the bell curve shows how most values cluster around the average. It's symmetrical with mean equal median equal mode. In education, it's used to understand performance trends and set grading policies. Here the example or the histogram of student scores. The number of students until 30 and the scores is from 0 to 80. Here the real life example for normal distribution. There are 50 students took the final exam in a general English course. They are divided into 5 grades. We can call it grade A until grade E. And each grade has a different number of students, just like the table. Okay, the Islamic values encourages balance in all aspects of life. Quran Surat Al-Furqan 67 ayat 67 teaches us not to be wasteful or stingy, to stay moderate. This concept of wasatiyah aligns with the logic of the bell curve. So, if life gives you average scores, don't panic. You are right where most people are. Statistically and spiritually, balance is a blessing. Now we are going to the fourth topic. It is t-test. Suppose you want to know whether online learning is more effective than traditional. classroom learning. And this picture we can divide it into two groups, that common group and experimental group. And you gather the scores of both groups. Now what? Enter the t-test. A t-test compares the means of two groups to see if the difference is statistically significant, right? And the definition of t-test is a statistical test used to compare means between groups and see if the difference is statistically significant or just a result of random chance. T-test has three types. The first type is independent sample t-test. The second is paired sample t-test. And the third is one sample t-test. Independent sample t-test used to compare the means of two separate groups. For example, comparing test scores of students in online classes versus offline classes. And the paired sample t-test is used when comparing means from the same group at two different times or conditions. The sample is pre-test versus post-test scores of the same students before and after using a new teaching method. And the one sample t-test is used to compare the mean of a single group to a known value. It's usually a population mean. The example of one sample t-test is a class has an average score of 78. You want to know if that differs significantly from the national average of 75. Here the real classroom example of paired t-test, and the data summary from the picture is the mean score of pre-test is 16.8 and the post-test mean score is 76. The difference of statistically significant by using interactive videos improves speaking skills. But here's the key. Just because there's a numerical difference doesn't mean it's meaningful. Islam teaches us to seek knowledge with hikmah wisdom. Quran Surat Al-Mujadilah ayat 11 encourages us to think critically and honor learning. Now, the fifth topic is correlation studies. Did you know that ice cream sales and drowning incidents rise at the same time each year? Sounds spooky, right? But wait, it's just correlation. It's not causation. There are three types of correlation. The first is positive correlation. It means that both variables are increased or decreased together. The second is zero correlation. It means that no relationship between the variables. And the third is negative correlation. It's one variable increase and the other decrease. In education, we might see a positive correlation between study hours and test scores, but that doesn't mean studying more causes good grades. Maybe motivated students that really do both. And here is the example of correlation. Look at the picture. Both ice cream sales and shark attacks increase when the weather is hot and sunny, but they are not caused by each other. They are caused by good weather, with lots of people at the beach, both eating ice cream and having a swim at the beach. The correlation studies in Islam argues critical thinking. Quran Surat Al-Baqarah ayat 269 says Allah gives wisdom to whom He wills. Let's be wise. Just because things a legend doesn't mean one causes the other. Okay, there are the 5 points that I have presented to you. The last statement from me is be curious, be cautious, and always take the facts. Thank you very much for your kind attention. And the last I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.